Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to bout number 2. This is the 70-kilogram amateur MMA contest scheduled for 2 5-minute rounds. This has been very kindly sponsored by MKM Building Supplies. Would you welcome to the cage first, from Close Combat Arena in Liverpool, Forster! And now, would you welcome his opponent from BK MMA in Ireland, Pierre!
Okay, so bout number 2. This is a amateur MMA bout scheduled for 2 5-minute rounds at 70 kilograms. We've got Luke Forster from Close Combat Arena versus Pierre from BK MMA. Really good Thai boxing and wrestling gym. Their head coaches Chris Gael and Chantel.
So final instructions from Neil Hall. This is an amateur MMA bout, so it's going to be 2 5-minute rounds, no headshots standing or on the floor. Strikes are allowed to the body and any submissions other than twisting leg locks.
Okay, so off we go. Have they got bigger gloves on as well?
They wear the normal MMA gloves. They're not actually going to hit each other, so well to the head. They're both circling, looking for openings. Now, to be honest, this is more like a grappling match with a few strikes allowed.
Right.
So I would imagine they're going to look to try and take each other to the floor rather than just kick each other's legs and body.
Right. Okay.
Well, interesting that Bon elected to stay stood up there.
Yeah, I thought he would have obviously. Right. Okay.
Usually, if you've got a stand-up game, you would want to do strikes standing as well.
Right.
So I'm not sure if he's got some sort of plan as to why he's not engaging on the ground. See, Bon looks to have fairly tidy striking. He feels comfortable there. And I'm not 100% sure why he's fighting under these rules.
Yeah.
Takedown defended there by Luke. Bon's grabbed a single.
Okay.
He's landed in guard, but he's got one leg trapped. Oh, now he's in full guard. Now here, obviously, with no strikes, there's not a lot to do other than attempt to pass guard. There's no ground and pound going to be going on from inside the guard.
So can you hit to the body while they're on the floor?
Yeah. But you're not going to do a great deal of damage, so the ground and pound's not really that relevant.
Right. So is full guard when you're
When you've been controlled completely by the guard in his legs, he's got you in his guard.
Oh, right, okay.
Luke's doing quite a good job. He climbs his guard well. He's looking for submissions with the. He's looking to hook the arms.
Right.
I think Bond's looking to pass the legs now. So Bond's passed into side control now. Using nice shoulder control on the jaw there. If you see with his left shoulder, that makes it awkward for Luke to escape.
That's it.
Pass to mount. That's a nice transition to mount there. So Bond looks to have quite a tidy ground game as well. I don't know why he wasn't going to the ground earlier. Now, look for him to get a high mount here and try and expose the arms a little bit for submissions. He can't obviously ground and pound to the head, so he's going to have to, if he wants to finish the fight, he's going to have to look for submissions from top. Luke should be bridging and trying to escape here. He shouldn't just be lay there. I don't really agree with these rules. I don't like them at all. I won't have any of my students fight them. The guy on the bottom, he can teach you bad habits. He's too complacent here. He's happy not to be booking and trying to escape. He's not really in that much danger.
Right, okay.
Submitted. And obviously the only thing he does have to avoid is his arms. But he's exposing his arms a fair bit. I think Bond could capitalise here if he wants to. Luke's got back to half guard now. He's managed to catch one of Bond's legs. Oh, he's going to get full guard back, it looks like. Bond needs to be heavy with his hips here. See, with Bond with his head down and his hips a little bit high, he's just leaving it a little bit easy for him to get his guard back and get
right.
Guard. I'd look for Luke to be trying to tie the arms up. He needs to keep control of the head. Bond just needs to be a little bit heavier on his hips here as he passes, so he can transition and pass to side control. I'd like to see Bond, if he does get control from top, attacking for submissions more and looking to finish the fight.
Right.
I don't like people just lying in position.
You said it seems to be a bit complacent when they're on the floor. See, fighting under these rules, it just really teaches bad habits. If you look at where both the guys' hands are, going around with your hands at the waist, coming from a striking background, I think you'll appreciate that that's a terrible habit to have. Definitely.
But if you don't need to protect your face, you don't really need them there.
Yeah.
It's not going to set you in good stead for later on in your career.
That's it. We usually find in Thai boxing, sometimes when they're making that transition from junior fighting to senior fighting, when there's head contact, sometimes the hands still are quite low.
Yeah. I think the bad habits are hard to break, teaching new techniques. Some aggressive strikes there and transition to mount. Now let's see if Bond does start attacking for submissions here, if he starts looking for the arms. It looks like he is. He's going for Kimura from top, which from mount's quite an interesting thing to go for. Now he's on the bottom, so Luke's managed to escape, get to top. That's a very high guard. Good control there from Bond. I think he's going to start looking for the arm there.
Straight arm bar if you want it as well, but push against that arm. Good active guard.
He's using guard control. He could do with using his forearm to push the head away if he wants to bring the leg over the top. Again, he's using a strong control there, but he's not actually attacking for a submission.
I mean, from that, I mean, is he kind of pushing his own shoulder onto his neck?
He's using a control position that's good to set up submissions, but he's not actually setting them up that way. The armbars there, nice. He's a little bit, he's not quite deep enough, I don't think.
Right.
Oh, he's got it. Right. Good work.
Brilliant.
It's a good work by Bon there to get an armbar submission in the second.
I mean, that fight could have gone either way, really. And like you said, I think Bon was lucky to get the submission, but, you know, all respect to Luke. You know, he put up a really good fight.
Yeah, Luke did really well. I think Bon had just a little bit more skill all around, and Luke just wasn't. It was a matter of time before he got caught. But good fight by both lads.
Excellent, really good bout.
Ladies and gentlemen,